Hi BookTube, my name's Nadine and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to tell you about all of the books that I read in the month of November. It was a reasonable reading month, not quite as full as October, but still overall quite enjoyable. So the first book I'll tell you about is the only one that I read digitally. And it was Agatha Raisin and the Wellspring of Death by MC Beaton. I don't know if you can see that there. So this is number, whatever it is in the series, 7 maybe? Something around there. So Agatha is still reeling from the events that have sort of run amok over her love life, and she decides to take a PR job for a company that is bringing out some mineral water in the local area. And then, lo and behold, somebody is murdered and found deaded in that water, and Agatha has to solve the case. Yeah, it was quite an enjoyable one, better than the ones that I read just prior to that where she was abroad. So glad to see she's back in Carsley, where she belongs, and loving life really. So yeah, that was very good. The next book that I finished in November was Handling the Undead by Jan Ajvide Lindqvist. Don't know if that's how you say his name. I meant to look it up and I didn't. This is an excellent book actually. It was set in Sweden, in Stockholm. So at the start of the book, everybody's just going about their daily lives, except everybody has this awful headache that just keeps getting worse and worse and worse as the day progresses. And there's this sort of awful pressure in the air that just keeps building. And then all of the electricals start to play up and until eventually it just stops. And everybody breathes a sigh of relief. Thank goodness, headaches are gone, electricals go back to normal, life is as it should be. Except all of the recently dead start coming back. But they're not your typical zombies, they're not coming back to eat your brains or anything like that. They're just back, not communicating, pretty much just husks, but coming back to their homes. And the story sort of centres around how that is handled by people. I mean, what would you do, really, if the person that you've just lost walks back through the door? Is it them, is it not? It was a really, really interesting book, and it made me question, actually, what would happen in that scenario? Because, you know, my idea of zombies is always being sort of Walking Dead kind of style, but this was a very different take on it. Next, I finally read this one. This has been on my shelves for a long time, and it was I Am Haunted by Zak Bagans. I bought this when I was going through my massive Ghost Adventures fangirl stage. Thankfully I'm out of that now. And this was awful. This was a really, really bad book. In fact, the only good thing about it was that I kept having to stop laughing to tell my husband about the stupid things that was being said. One whole chapter was devoted to he didn't poop on a plane. So yeah, really riveting read there. Learned a lot about Zak. I wouldn't recommend that one. Next I read Fangs by Sarah Anderson, which I thought was going to be like a cute story, and it kind of was. So it's about this vampire girl and this werewolf guy who meet and fall in love, but it's not a story so much as just like a series of kind of vignettes, is that the word I want? So yeah, it was okay. It wasn't quite what I was hoping for, but you know, it was fine. And then finally I read Caliban's War by James S.A. Corey. This is the second book in the Expanse series, and I'm glad to say I'm still loving this series. James Holden and the crew of the Rocinante are back, and they are tasked with finding the missing child of this scientist. The place where he lived, Ganymede, has kind of gone to hell. The fighting was breaking out. It's just everything is crashing down around them. The whole thing is falling apart. But just before that happens, 16 children go missing. They're abducted. 16 children, all with immune problems. So, you know, what is going on there? Why would anybody want to abduct these ill children? There are also sort of mutant super soldiers and sort of political intrigue, and yeah, it's a fantastic book. I'm really looking forward to the next one. I've ordered it from my library immediately, but I think it'll be a while before it's in. And my husband is starting the first book tonight, so I'm really excited to rant about it with him as well. So that is it. Those are the books that I read in November. Let me know if you've read any of these and what you thought of them, and I will catch up with you next time. Bye!